Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the home and kitchen niche. Created in April 2016, this business makes $5,285 per month net profit. The listing number for this site is 40774. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. Now, we got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Blair.
No worries, Greg.
So before we dive into the questions here, Blair, just to give a quick summary of the business for everyone out there listening in, like I mentioned, it was built in April 2016, has a monthly revenue of $18,687. Expenses are sitting at $13,403 with that total net profit of $5,285. And that is over a 7-month average. With the sale of the business, obviously the Amazon seller account will be included, the supplier information, digital art files for the product, website domain and site, quality control and ordering templates, the raw and finished product imagery, as well as the product costing spreadsheet, product inspection records, and contact details. So with all that said, Blair, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first one, or have you had several in the past?
I've dabbled a little bit before this one, but this is the first one that I've worked on full time. So before that, I was in the manufacturing industry. So yeah, sort of know a wee bit about organisation and systems, and that's sort of what I've applied to the site.
Excellent. How did you come up with the idea to start this one, without giving away the niche, obviously?
Yeah, I had a look around online about what opportunities there were, and obviously Amazon FBA has been running hot for a reasonable while now, and I came up with a system to analyse products beyond the normal software that you can buy out there, and so I sort of come up with a system that I worked through to select these particular couple of products, and so just really, looking for products that weren't too competitive and still had a good margin in them, and yeah.
So for someone who's brand new to Amazon FBA, maybe even brand new to online businesses, could you just briefly describe how this business primarily makes money?
Yeah, sure. So with the Amazon products, we basically purchase the product that we've researched. So we, negotiate with a manufacturer. We then have products delivered into the Amazon warehouses, and we put a listing on the Amazon website. Amazon then, go out with their in their catalogue and show that product to the millions of users that they have, and we get sales via that way. Once we get a sale, the Amazon FBA, or Fulfillment by Amazon, takes care of the sending of the product, so we don't have to do any of that sort of customer side of it. They send the product out to the customers. And that's pretty much it, really.
And now, why are you selling the business? Is there any reason why you're not going to keep it and grow it?
Yeah, I've got another couple of Amazon businesses who I've got shared ownership with other people. And so all of my eggs were or are a little bit in one basket, and I wanted to diversify a little bit. So setting up another monetization website where I can, separate from Amazon, so totally non-related, just to really diversify my income. And so that's what the money from this sale will go to, developing that.
Okay, so you're planning on to basically reinvest the capital into these other ventures that you already have going, pretty much.
That's correct,
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Now, when you first started this business, what was the trajectory of it? Did you find once you had it up on Amazon and ready to be sold that the customers just came flowing in, or did it take a while to build up to that?
It was reasonably quickly. That is the benefit of Amazon, is that, you can put products on there, and if you know what you're doing, I spent sort of 4 to 5 months learning about what to do, and so it's not just a matter of throwing a product up there. You've got to get the right product, and you've got to display it correctly and launch it well. So I went through a bit of a launch of it, and I'd say it's probably took about a month or month and a half to get it up to reasonably steady sales. So it was pretty quick in terms of online.
Now, is there anything you learned from this business you're going to be applying to these other projects you're working on? Any one thing you did that just worked really well for you?
Yeah, being able to target to an audience in the beginning is pretty key. I used a launch service like many other Amazon sellers do, and obviously things have changed a little bit with that these days. That you can still use those services, but you just can't get reviews from them. But I think, having that ability to launch to people that want to buy your goods is pretty key, whether that's a launch service or an email list that you might have. So yeah, I'll be certainly utilizing email lists that I've started to build.
So you already have an email list that you started to build with your other business. Did you build an email list with this one as well, or?
No, I haven't built one. No, I haven't built one with this one because my plan was never really to continue with this. I was always going to focus on my main niche products, which is in the separate business. So I've been building lists throughout the other business.
Gotcha. Is there anything you did with this that just didn't work, something that maybe completely failed?
Yeah, I did have a third product under this business, which was just a pricing thing. It was actually a New Zealand-made product, and it just priced up too high. So we haven't been able to really get the traction we wanted with that. So we will be closing that or letting that one sell out. It's almost sold out now, so that's why it's not listed for sale within the site. We've excluded that product and its figures from our information, and so yeah, that was probably one of the non-success options.
It does happen. When it comes to traffic for your Amazon listing, is it all organic? Are you doing any kind of Amazon PPC or direct social or anything else?
Yeah, we do Amazon PPC, but we haven't done any external traffic. So it's probably an opportunity for someone to come in and, either do some email promotions or external adverts, Facebook adverts, or even, boost their own Amazon PPC campaigns. We've kept it pretty simple. We haven't really pushed those internal campaigns very much.
Yeah, that makes sense. As far as earnings go, obviously outside of that third product, but with the main two that you're actually selling, how stable are the earnings? Or do you find that they fluctuate? Is there any kind of seasonality or pretty even keel month after month?
Yeah, one of them's pretty stable throughout the year. The other one has stable but has a bit of a spike at November and December for Christmas. So you might get sort of double the sales on that one product through Christmas. But the rest of the year, it is pretty stable.
That makes sense. Are you selling to the U.S. market now with your Amazon business, or do you have other markets as well?
No, only into the US at the moment. So, yeah, again, another opportunity if people wanted to go to, into Canada or Mexico or Japan or the UK. All of those Amazon markets are available, and they've got a pretty easy way of transferring the listing over to those markets. So one of the beauties of Amazon is that, their integrated listings across countries makes it easy to set up that same product in a different country.
Yeah, absolutely. When you ship your products to your warehouse, is it by boat, or are you using air, or do you use a mix?
Yeah, we use a mix. Where we can, we'll ship it by boat because it's cheaper. But if we do need to, say if we're getting low on stock with one and we need to get a small portion of that order in, we'll air freight a small portion. It's not horrendously expensive, but it just allows us that option to get product in quickly if we need it.
Nice, yeah, for sure. What are the opportunities you see with this business? So let's pretend like you are going to keep this business and you want to grow it. What would be the least risky thing you would do to focus on growing this business?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, certainly those external promotions, we just haven't touched on those. And so I'd get into some Facebook advertising and really try and draw some people from outside of Amazon into our listing. Again, looking at other countries and other channels, I would certainly look at Canada straight away. And I would also probably look at getting the product onto other online sellers like Walmart.com or Jet.com, any of those ones, and look to drive a few more sales through those other channels. That's probably the key ones.
What would you do if you were incredibly risky and decided to throw caution in the wind and just grow this business as humanly fast as possible?
Yeah, I'd probably look to, which would take some expenditure, but I'd probably look to expand the range. So, within the products, you can change the size or the style. So I'd look to add a few more sizes or styles to the range, and then look to spend a reasonable amount of money on advertising to really drive that traffic, and then potentially, look elsewhere, as in other countries, to list it within the Amazon platform.
And then speaking of risk, what do you think the biggest risk is to this business that buyers should be aware of?
Competition in Amazon seems to be getting more each year. I think some of the changes that Amazon have done in the last 6 months are starting to reduce that competition, or certainly the growth of that competition is being reduced because it's harder for people to start. So, I'd say probably competition would be the main risk, of people coming in. The other risk is obviously Amazon. You're playing in their sandpit, so you need to be aware of their rules and things. And, they can be a little bit fickle from time to time with, some of their rules and, some of their decisions with, what they're going to do with various things. So you need to be aware of what they're doing because, that can be a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. What kind of work are you doing right now on, say, like a daily, weekly, or monthly basis to maintain this business?
Yeah, sure. I probably spend about a quarter of an hour a day on this particular account, and that's mainly just checking sales and just making sure that there's no issues with the listings. There's, that sort of thing. I, sometimes check the advertising, the pay-per-click as well, just to see where that's tracking for the week. And then weekly, I would probably spend an hour. That's looking through inventory, making sure I've got enough inventory and checking my sales stats for the previous week. And then probably monthly would be 3 hours worth, which would be looking at reordering product and talking with the supplier if that's needed. And then also looking at the overall stats of the site, how's my advertising going, my pay-per-click, how were the stats this month compared to last month. And having a look at the competition as well and just seeing if there's any other new sellers on the site. That's pretty much it.
What kind of skills or requirements would you suggest for a buyer to have before they purchase a business like this? Anything that comes to mind that you think they should definitely have before they buy it?
I think you've got to be semi-organised in that you don't need to spend a lot of time on it, as, what I've just said, there's not a lot of time spent on it, but it is one of those things you do have to do. So if you're kind of wanting to just buy it and leave it and not do anything with it, you could find that something will happen to the site and you wouldn't know. So it's kind of being a little bit systematic and knowing that, hey, look, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go on there for half an hour each day or quarter of an hour each day and just check it, So it's just being organised. I think that's probably the key one.
I'd agree with that. Organization is a big deal, especially with all the logistics that comes with the Amazon FBA business. Would you be willing to sign a non-compete with the buyer saying, hey, look, I'm not going to go start these products that you just bought from me?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
How much support would you be willing to offer a buyer?
Yeah, I've sort of indicated 60 days on email and whatever phone calls are needed. I'm pretty flexible with that. If the emails keep going beyond 60 days, I'm flexible with that. I have faith in the products and things, and I'm keen to see them succeed beyond what I've taken them to. So happy to assist where required.
Awesome, Matt. Would you be, obviously the best case scenario here for both you and Empire Flippers, someone comes in and buys the business outright for full list price. But would you at all be open to a split or earn out? Say like someone comes and does 80% up front and 20% after the 60 days of training or something along those lines? Would that be something you'd be at all open to?
Yeah, it's not preferred, but, I would be open to it. Obviously I'm doing the sale for a reason that I want to get money out of this business to put into another business. So the more upfront I can get out of it, the quicker I can go with my other business. So, but yeah, again, I'm flexible. If it means being able to sell the site based on that, then yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Obviously, case by case scenario, of course, those are always very unique in of themselves. But before I ask you my final question, my hot seat question here, just to give a quick summary of the business for those people out there, a quick recap. Like I mentioned, it was built in April 2016, monthly revenue of $18,687, expenses $13,403, with a net profit of $5,285, and that is over a 7-month average. With the sale of this business includes the Amazon seller account, supplier information, digital art files for the product, website domain and site, quality control and ordering templates, raw and finished product imagery, product costing spreadsheet, and the product inspection records and contact details. So my final question for you, Blair, is what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's quite a small, simple little business which doesn't take a lot of time. The products are in a really good niche without too much competition, and that competition has been reasonably stable for the last 6 months. You know, the products have good margin on them and have the ability to be expanded or change style if you wanted to really ramp it up and, you know, and add to the current range. There's heaps of opportunities to bring additional traffic in through external marketing, you know, of which we just haven't had time to do yet.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunity here. One of the things I really liked about this business was, you know, it takes, like you mentioned, like a quarter of an hour a day. It takes very little time. So it's a great income for someone just starting out. I mean, it's job replacement income at $5,000 a month or so. That's awesome. So for those out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information, the link will be below this video that would take you to our actual marketplace listing. Now, if you're watching this on the listing and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So Blair, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Craig.